Most people assume that feeling sure about a partner indicates a healthy bond. We often believe that if we experience hesitation, the connection must be weak or perhaps ending. This common perspective suggests that peace of mind works like the primary metric for genuine affection. We look for a sense of total clarity to validate our choices. If we find ourselves questioning our feelings, we tend to panic and assume something is wrong. However, this expectation of constant mental ease might be a fundamental misunderstanding of how deep human attachments actually develop. Love is like a lighthouse beam sweeping across a dark ocean, because it repeatedly illuminates the shore before swinging back into shadow. This movement between visibility and obscurity defines the mechanism of how we perceive our partners. We do not experience a static, permanent state of absolute knowledge. Instead, our minds drift between intense devotion and sudden periods of detachment. This oscillation is not a defect or a sign of impending failure. It is the natural rhythm of an active heart that is trying to reconcile individual desires with the needs of another person. When we feel pulled in two directions, we are not losing our way. We are engaging in the necessary work of acknowledging the complexity of another human being. Stability in this context becomes a stagnant state, while the shifting nature of our thoughts proves that we remain deeply involved in the process of caring. Imagine a person who has spent several years with a long-term partner. They share a home, daily routines, and many significant life goals. One afternoon, this person finds themselves feeling distant. They notice small habits in their partner that suddenly seem irritating or confusing. A wave of doubt arrives, suggesting that maybe this relationship lacks the harmony they once felt. They begin to wonder if their previous feelings were merely an illusion. In a standard view, this person would conclude that the bond has withered. They might start planning an exit or feeling guilty about their lack of constant warmth. However, if they recognize this internal friction as part of the process, the situation changes. They stop searching for an immediate fix to their perceived lack of certainty. They understand that these moments of questioning are simply the flip side of their capacity for deep attachment. The doubt does not erase the history they have built together. I find this perspective helpful because it removes the pressure to maintain a perfect, untroubled state of mind. We spend so much energy trying to suppress our own skepticism. We worry that a single moment of questioning invalidates years of devotion. If we accept that our inner lives are naturally conflicted, we stop judging ourselves so harshly. This does not mean we should ignore serious problems in a relationship. It simply means we should stop treating our own mental fluctuations as evidence of a failed connection. The discomfort we feel is often a byproduct of caring about something significant. When we stop demanding that our emotions stay flat and predictable, we gain a more honest view of what it means to be attached to someone else. We can hold space for both the affection and the hesitation. This approach allows us to stay present even when our thoughts are not perfectly aligned. How would your perspective on your current relationships change if you stopped interpreting your own internal friction as a sign of emotional collapse? We often fear the instability of our own hearts. We chase a version of love that exists without any shadows. Perhaps we should reconsider this goal. If the tension between devotion and distance is the very thing that proves our connection is real, then we can breathe easier. We might start seeing our moments of doubt not as warnings, but as evidence that we are still fully engaged in the experience of loving another person. What happens when you choose to stay in the middle of